Your team just reached a shootout. Your hands are sweating and you haven't even kicked anything. You watch a player walk to the spot, alone, with 60,000 people screaming his name. He scores. Relief floods your chest for 4 seconds. Then the other team's player steps up. He misses. Your team wins. It feels like luck. But the real answer is far stranger than luck. A shootout looks random. 2 teams, 5 kicks each. A coin flip decides who goes first. Surely both sides have an equal chance. That is what almost everyone assumes. It is also wrong. For more than 2 decades, sports psychologist Geir Jordan has taken penalty shootouts apart, kick by kick, across every World Cup, European Championship, and Champions League shootout on record. What he found changes the story. The team that kicks first doesn't just get an advantage from going first, it gets one from something happening inside the brain of the team forced to go second. Winning a shootout isn't really about scoring, it's about not being the one who has to score just to survive. The first kicker shoots to potentially win. That's the pressure of opportunity. The second team's kicker, standing on the exact same spot minutes later, often shoots just to stay alive one more round. That's a heavier pressure. It sits differently in the legs. Jordan's data shows conversion rates drop as a shootout goes on, especially for the teams stuck playing catch-up. Why, if the physical task never changes? Because the brain doesn't treat those situations the same way, even when the kick itself is identical. Here's where it gets stranger. In 2010, economists Ignacio Palacios Huerta and Jose Apesteguía ran an experiment on professional darts players. No goalkeepers, no crowds, no history of heartbreak. The pattern showed up anyway. Whoever threw first, whoever got to act instead of react, performed better under matched pressure. It was never really about football. It was about the weight of playing from behind. So that coin flip isn't neutral. It hands one team a lighter load before a ball is even placed. Now, turn to the goal. Researcher Michael Bar-Eli studied hundreds of professional goalkeepers and found something nobody expects. Statistically, a keeper's best move against most kicks is to stay centered and wait. Enough shots go there to make it the smarter play. Almost no goalkeeper does this. Instead, they dive hard, left or right, nearly every time. Bar-Eli called it an action bias. Diving and missing feels less painful than standing still and missing. Diving looks like effort. Standing still feels unbearable even when the math says otherwise. That's not pure instinct. That's a decision shaped by how failure will feel afterward, not by what actually works. Jordan also found players facing a hostile crowd converted at a lower rate, hitting hardest on the youngest players. A shootout isn't only testing who can strike a ball under pressure, it's testing who has already survived pressure before. Hold that thought, because it explains something about you too. Have you ever made a choice, not because it was smartest, but because it was the one you could live with if it failed? Doing the expected thing and failing feels different from doing the bold thing and failing. One feels like bad luck. The other feels like a story you can still tell. That's the same wiring sending a goalkeeper diving left when the math says, stand still. Here's the twist most fans never hear. Shootouts don't have to stay this unfair. Some competitions have tested an alternating kicking order, borrowed from tennis tie breaks, built to cancel out the first kicker advantage. Mathematicians studying shootout fairness have shown small order changes can shrink that imbalance without touching a single player's skill, which means the unfairness you feel was never really about talent or nerve or heart. It was a structural problem sitting quietly inside the rules, waiting to be measured. You live inside shootouts more than you think. A negotiation where the other side already has an offer on the table. A hard conversation you have to start. A retake, walking into the room where everyone else already passed. The task is identical. Your nervous system never treats it that way. The player who misses usually isn't the worst player. He's often just the one standing in the harder position, doing the same action as everyone before him while carrying more weight. So next time a shootout ends and someone walks off with his head down, remember what you watched. It wasn't a worse player failing at something simple. It was a harder position being tested in front of millions in about 2 seconds. Your team reaches a shootout again, some other night, some other year. Your hands are sweating. But now you know what you're really watching isn't luck deciding who deserves to win. It's pressure deciding who carries more of it and who gets to walk to the spot a little lighter than everyone else.